Hey everyone, and welcome! Have you ever looked at a garden just overflowing with beautiful, fragrant roses and thought, wow, I wish I could do that, but it just seems way too complicated? Well, if that's you, you've come to the perfect place. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on growing roses and show you how simple and seriously rewarding it can be. Okay, let's jump right in.
So let's get one thing straight, right off the bat. Do you think growing roses is some kind of exclusive club for super experienced gardeners? That's probably the biggest myth in the gardening world, and I'm here to tell you it's just not true. With a few simple tips, seriously, anyone can grow amazing roses.
And get this, what if I told you that not only can you grow them, but you can actually eat them? Yep, you heard me right. Roses are not just for looking pretty in a vase, they can be an incredible and delicious part of your cooking. That's just one of the cool secrets we're going to uncover as we get started. So welcome, officially, to the rose garden. In this first part, we're going to get to know this plant a little bit better. You'll see that roses are way more than just a pretty face. They're tough, they're versatile, and they've got a really cool story. So what even is a rose? Well, basically, it's a woody perennial. And that word perennial is the best news ever for a gardener because it means the plant comes back year after year. And with literally thousands of different kinds out there, from huge climbing roses to tiny little ones perfect for a pot, I absolutely promise you there's a perfect rose with your name on it. All right, time to get practical. Your whole rose growing adventure starts with this one big decision, choosing your plant. Now, this can feel a little overwhelming, but don't you worry. I'm going to make it super simple for you. Okay, so when you're shopping for a rose, you're usually going to see two types, roses in containers and something called bare root roses. Bare root ones are kind of dormant and they look like a bundle of sticks. They need a bit of extra work. But container roses, they're already growing in a pot. For a beginner, this is a no-brainer. It's hands down the easiest way to start. They're just so much easier to plant and they get settled into your garden way faster. So you've picked out your perfect rose and brought it home. Awesome! The next big step is to find it the perfect spot to live. I want you to think about it this way. You're not just sticking a plant in the ground, you're creating a happy home for it. And trust me, a happy rose will pay you back with tons and tons of gorgeous flowers. And you know what's funny? For all their reputation, roses are actually pretty simple. They really only have three basic must-haves. Number one, sun. Lots of it. Roses are total sun worshippers, so they need at least 6 hours of direct sun every single day. Number two, they need to breathe. You want to leave some space between your plants for good airflow. This helps keep the leaves dry and prevents annoying diseases. And number three, great soil. This is the foundation for everything. So let's talk about that soil. Getting this recipe right is like baking a rich, delicious fruitcake for your plant. A perfect mix is about 40% of your regular garden soil, another 40% of really good organic stuff like compost or aged cow manure, 15% cocoa peat, which is great for holding moisture, and then about 5% bone meal. Bone meal is kind of the secret weapon here. It slowly releases phosphorus, which is exactly what roses need to make big, beautiful flowers. And here's a little pro tip for you. Roses just love soil that's slightly on the acidic side. The absolute sweet spot is a pH between 6.0 and 6.5. Now, why does that even matter? Well, think of that pH level like the special key that unlocks all the nutrients in the soil. It makes it possible for the roots to actually soak up all that good food we just mixed in for them. Okay, time to get our hands dirty. Planting your rose is the fun part, and it's easy. First, dig a hole that's nice and roomy. You don't want the roots to be cramped. Then, gently slide your rose out of its pot and set it right in the middle. Backfill the hole with that perfect soil mix we just made. Here's what I do. I water it really well, let that settle, and then water it again to make sure it's deeply hydrated. The final touch, a nice 2-inch blanket of mulch right on top. Fantastic! Your rose is officially planted. Now we get to talk about the simple, everyday care that's going to keep it happy and blooming. You can really think of this part like taking care of a pet. It just needs consistent food and water to really thrive. The routine is super simple. It really boils down to these 4 things. 1. Water every day and try to do it right at the base of the plant to keep the leaves from getting wet. Morning is the best time. 2. Feed it. A handful of compost every 15 days or so is perfect. 3. Keep that mulch layer fresh. It holds in moisture and keeps weeds away. And 4, my favorite part, deadheading. So what in the world is deadheading? It's literally just snipping off the old flowers as they start to fade. When you do this, you're sending a direct message to the plant that says, hey, Don't waste your energy making seeds over here. Use all that power to make more brand new flowers instead. It's such a simple trick, but it's the key to getting blooms all season long. Okay, so in every garden story, there are villains and there are heroes. And you're the hero protecting your rose. So in this section, we're going to meet the common baddies, pests and diseases, and the team of buddies and other heroes you can use to defend your plant. And we're going to do it organically and easily. All right, let's meet the usual suspects. You've got aphids, those tiny little bugs that love to hang out on new buds. Then there's black spot, which is a fungus that, well, you guessed it, it causes black spots on the leaves. And finally, powdery mildew, which looks exactly like someone came and dusted your plant with flour. But don't you worry, they're all totally manageable.
And here come the heroes. Honestly, a strong, healthy plant is your best defense. But if some pests do show up, you've got lots of options. For aphids, you can literally just blast them off with a jet of water from your hose. A simple spray of soapy water works wonders too. Or you can use an organic neem oil spray. Even better, invite some superheroes into your garden, like ladybugs. They love to eat aphids. And planting things like lavender or sage nearby can actually help keep pests away in the first place. Okay, we've picked the plant, we've given it a home, we've cared for it, and we've protected it. And now it's time for the reward. This is, without a doubt, the best part. Just sitting back and enjoying the incredible flowers that all your hard work has created.
Now there is one little job that tends to make new gardeners pretty nervous, and that's pruning. A lot of people are just terrified they're going to cut the wrong thing and hurt the plant, but I want you to completely change how you think about it. You're not hurting it at all. You're just giving it a healthy haircut that actually helps it grow back stronger and bushier than ever before.
You really only need to do a big prune once a year in the early spring, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, just clean it up. Cut out any branches that are dead, look diseased, or are rubbing against each other. Step 2, take all the healthy stems and cut them back by about 1/3. And step 3, here's the trick. Make your cut at a 45-degree angle, just above a little bud that's facing away from the center of the plant. This encourages the rose to grow outwards into a beautiful open shape.
And look at that, we've come full circle. Remember how I said you can eat your roses? It is absolutely true. You can make vitamin C-packed tea from the rose hips after the flowers fade. You can make a delicate jam from the petals. You can make your own rose water for skincare or baking, or just use the petals to flavor cakes. But, and please listen because this is so important, you should only ever eat roses that you have grown yourself organically with no chemical sprays. Never, ever eat flowers from a florist shop. They are loaded with chemicals not safe for eating. And of course, if you have any questions, always check with an expert before you eat anything from your garden. So there you have it. You've learned how to choose a rose, how to plant it, how to feed it, protect it, and even how to give it a haircut. See? It wasn't nearly as hard as you thought, was it? You are now officially a rose gardener. So the only question left is, with all this new knowledge, what amazing thing are you going to grow next? Happy gardening!